Gary Vee.
Stab you. Gary Vee. Oh, well, should we roll right into the compilation here from the start for all the people to get a little taste of what Gary Vee is?
Sell dumb shit in your house. I don't have money, Gary. Good. You have stuff in your house. Even like people that aren't making a lot of money have fucking stuff.
At least $1,000 of crap.
Yes. And if you don't, I'll teach you how to take $30 and turn it into 1,000. I fucking did in Trash Talk episode 3. It was called $20 of Olympic pins for over 1,000. Real life, real talk. Do you have the humility to go garage sailing? That's the question. Do you have humility to go to dollar store and walk out, and while everybody is at that Whole Foods and sees you walking out with bags from the dollar store, people don't like judgment. Do you have the humility when you don't have a car to go pick up something on Craigslist and take the fucking bus and sit with a lamp on your lap?
Well, why wouldn't you want to do that? That sounds fun.
Because it's easier for people mentally to complain and blame than to take on accountability. Gary wants me to put out a ton of content for free, right? He wants me to be super patient. He wants me to put all the money back into the business. He wants me to spend tons of time and hours figuring shit out that's actually current, which takes away from leisure time. Basically, I want you to eat shit for the next decade.
Why do you curse so much? For a guy who doesn't need to.
Because I only believe in authenticity. It's how I talk. When I think about, do I care about my employees? It feels more in my brain and my heart and my soul. Do I give a fuck about my employees more than do I care about my employees? That's from my brain and heart to my mouth.
But I feel like there are people who
will never consume my content. Are you kidding me?
Because of the F.
I am willing to deal with the ramifications of me being my full self.
Do you curse at home?
A ton.
In front of your kids?
Yep. I'm just not devastated to go into my 4th grade teacher and Mrs. Thompson's like, you have a real problem. What's that, Mrs. Thompson? Your daughter curses. I just don't see that as a real problem. Me and Mrs. Thompson just don't see the world the same way. I'm the byproduct of Mrs. Thompson telling me my whole life that I would be a failure. Mrs. Thompson thought that a D in science was going to be my downfall, just like she thinks saying fuck is her downfall. I don't agree.
Yeah, okay, so we made progress on that, but it's going slower than I'd like. We've only made a couple $1,000.
Only made a couple thousand. Oh my God.
Punch him.
Only made a couple thousand? Come on, bro. How much did you have before?
0. What is this?
Who works harder, me or you?
Me.
How do you know that?
You just can't be working 18 hours a day every day the way I am. I just don't think you are. I just believe it in my heart.
But you don't really know anything about me.
You're right.
Okay.
I worked every hour of my 20s, all of them.
Yeah, I did too.
You guys see how hard I'm working now. Think about what I was doing when I didn't have it. I would literally rather somebody come up here, shoot me with a gun, and steal my passport than lose my phone. How much is this, my friend?
I wanted to get like $100 for it.
Let me give it some thought. Thank you. I'm not gonna buy everything, but I promise you, I would have destroyed that man's face and got it for $50. I would have then been able to easily put that on Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, Instagram, and probably get 300 to 500 bucks. I might just buy it for 50, just to make my point. My friend, would you take 50 for it?
Yeah.
Told you.
I am fucking crazy, but I am free.
I swallow every piece of gum. What? I've swallowed every piece of gum that I've ever chewed in my life. Mark, hard-hitting question. Did you steal wearing the same thing every day from Steve Jobs?
I don't think so. I just think I was maybe a little lazy.
Who do you love the most in the world?
My family.
Good. Who in your family? Pick one.
All of them.
Every day, make like literally once a day.
Genuinely sit there for 5 minutes and make pretend one of them gets shot in the face.
Gary Vee. I'm sure you know a lot of people might know who Gary Vee is, but this is what I did. I did a lot of not a lot. I did a little bit of research for this.
Yeah, I know as much as just I've seen. I've seen a good bit, but not anything like
I watched
extensive.
Well, so my research is limited, but I watched 2 videos on his channel, and then I watched like pretty much a rundown of. I got him. Damn. Yo, fuck Benny, bro. I think Mr. House is going to get mad at me.
I think he might have. Yeah.
I just killed it.
Overboard.
I need to go sleep in a bed though, cause I'm fucked right now. But so Gary Vee, king of YouTube, king of TikTok, I guess now too.
King of NFTs.
King of NFTs, NFT restaurant owner, made pretty much created Facebook and Twitter. That's not true, but he. So I did some. So do you know how he got a start?
Wasn't it like, okay, let me think. I remember like food critiquing, right?
It was, well, first he created a wine selling website. He pretty much took his dad's website,
Mm-hmm.
and then just and expanded it to online, and rose the company to be like worth like 60 million, I think.
Whoa.
Yeah. I forgot what the website was called. It was like wine. It was like something wine. But then he started a YouTube channel later on after that, where he did wine critiquing.
Okay, yeah, that's what it was, wine critiquing.
And he's I think it's what's known as an angel investor, right?
I don't know, but
he essentially, by the way, I just picked sneering imperialist, and it's kind of fucked up because it's like weaponized racism, but
okay.
sometimes I mean,
Fallout New Vegas, baby.
yeah. Well, it's not like racism to like real racist. It's like racism to like Fallout racist. So
I see.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, like the tribes and shit.
Oh.
These guys are fucking swarming. I just need to take a fucking nap. So Gary Vee got a start on YouTube, made a wine website, shit like that, dumb shit. And he invested into Twitter. I think it was Twitter and Facebook.
And invented it.
Yeah, he pretty much created Mark Zuckerberg.
In a lab.
And yeah, in a lab, behind his dad's New Jersey wine shop, and he single-handedly made Twitter, and he invests in a lot of tech startups. Like I think now he has over 100 investments in tech startups.
Okay.
And this is my main philosophy that I'm getting around Gary Vee, is that he's a shit machine that throws it all at the wall. And whatever sticks makes him a lot of money, and whatever doesn't, he doesn't talk about.
Yeah, it just didn't exist.
He just does everything. He has a literal YouTube video on his channel that talks about, it's like, don't create content, just pretty much film everything and post it all on YouTube, and it's bound to take off.
Like eventually.
Yeah, like eventually, essentially.
Okay.
Like he's like, just record every single detail of your life. I don't know if he says that verbatim, but that's the vibe I got from the video.
I'll try and find that clip and put it in here.
Yeah, it's like don't create content, create something. I don't remember, man. But I watched that video, and then like him being an angel investor, makes me feel like he just puts it like everything in the kitchen table into what he has, and then like something's bound to work,
Yeah. I mean, that's not a bad philosophy. But you have the income to do that.
I guess, yeah. But what I think, I mean, he tries to get like tries to get a lot of people to do that same mantra, and it doesn't work for everyone. You know what I mean?
No, it's like it's a gamble. You know what I mean? It's for sure a gamble. Anything investment wise is gambling.
Is gambling, and him being like, "Oh, you got to work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You got to get that grind, and if you do, you'll eventually be rich like me. And then one day I'm going to buy the New York Jets." That's what he wants to do. That's like his big dream. Is that he wants to buy the New York Jets.
You can probably do that now.
Well, no, because the New York Jets is worth like billions, and he only has hundreds of millions. Yeah. I think it's the Jets. You're gonna have to fact check that. He wants to buy New York.
The Jets, like football team?
Yeah.
I mean, that would make sense. I mean, I'm trying to think. I think there's another one though, right?
Yeah, there's the is Is it the Giants?
Giants, yeah, New York Giants and the Jets. Is he? I'm trying to think. Maybe he's a Giants fan though.
Maybe he is a Giants fan. You know what?
We don't. I'll put. There will be a picture with him with a hat or something.
Yeah, you'll figure it out. He wears the fucking jersey.
He wears the cap. He wears the jersey.
He puts on a suit. He puts on a full New York whatever suit.
Like I'd love to see like a Big Apple suit.
I'd
And
like
Gary Vee in it.
I'd like to see like a 1960s guy fully dressed up because that's what they required you to do back then. And he's got like it's like a fedora and a nice suit, but it's like all New York Jets.
Just like pimped out.
Pimped out in New York Jets. But
yeah, bandana suits. We can
bandana
talk about
suits.
bandana suits.
Bandana suits are great. I think if you wanted to do anything better in life, you just buy like a bandana suit, like the bandana pattern, but in like a full like 3-piece suit, you know. Oh, you're not gonna try and kill me because it's the restaurant.
That's good. That's good.
Gary Vee wearing a bandana suit is probably
that would be top tier content.
Yeah, that would be. I just killed everyone that runs this facility. I don't know why they're all still like gathered around here.
I don't even know what just happened. I just watched you massacre a whole building's worth of people. And
well, my character's kind of designed to shoot first, ask questions later, and so I have the authority to do that.
You sound exactly like him when you said.
Oh my god!
You're like, and I have the authority to do that.
I'm Steven Seagal, all man, bro.
And you do have the authority to kill all these people. Gary Vee is the funniest. I think he's the funniest, like quote unquote influencer out there right now. Genuinely.
His NFT stuff is kind of shady, but I think everything else is just like
shady. Everything about him's shady. He's just like.
But that might be like some of the worst, the most egregious stuff he does, because everything else, like he just tries to give advice, and I think it's just bad advice. And I would hope that people don't take his advice to heart, but you know they might.
You don't even have to say they might.
They do.
Every time I look up, like, if I look up Gary Vee quotes, they're all inspirational. Not one of them are funny.
Not on purpose funny.
Yeah, well, exactly. Not on purpose funny. But genuinely, they're like some of his like more neutral good take, quote unquote good takes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so you can tell they're not trying to be funny though, and it's really like, you know.
Yeah.
And you know, if you like Gary Vee, I mean, I guess no judgment, but
just I would
take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah, take it with like everything, you know what I mean? Because like I think he's right about some things, but again, that's like his mantra. Like if he says enough advice, some of it is bound to be helpful.
Yeah, facts.
And that's how I feel about it.
That's an accurate statement.
It's like if he gives you enough advice, some of it might be useful, but that doesn't mean that everything he says is useful, or that even a lot of the things he says is useful, either. But
I would say most of it isn't.
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm gonna put my opinion on it, he's a complete weirdo.
Yeah, he's definitely a weirdo. He, man, I just want him to buy the fucking New York Jets or Giants or whatever.
And then just do that.
And then just shut the fuck up.
Yeah, but he won't be able to do that for another few years.
He will never be able to buy the New York Jets. I'm sorry, Gary Vee. I'm sorry to squash on your dreams. Maybe one day you will, but, you know.
Yeah, once those tech companies start to blow up when you're like 80 years old or something.
And you just lost a bunch of money on Facebook because Meta just fucking fell a bunch, so, you know.
Yeah, I mean, that's like the kind of economy he lives in, though. You know what I mean? Gambling economy. That should just, like, go to show, like, you know what I mean? Anyway, what kind of person he is that he sits around and gambles, basically, for all he's worth. You know?
Oh, yeah.
Like, definitely invest into safe stocks. Like, you know, I mean, that's good. Not financial advice. But it definitely, you know what I mean? If you can. But then...
He's clearly been through the game.
But don't gamble on stocks. Like,
yeah. He's been through the game. He knows how it works, but no one knows how the stock market works, and no one knows how to make it in the world. You know what I mean? That no one knows that shit. Like every success story is different, has different ways. People sometimes will be poor all their life. Sometimes people like Samuel Jackson won't get a break until they're like 45.
Yeah, that's true.
And like the stock market's even more unknown, and you can study it and know about it, but
it's never guaranteed.
Yeah, it's never fucking guaranteed.
That's for sure. Gary Vee's kind of like, he's like a nuisance, but also the funniest man to exist.
You know, I like the you eat shit video always. I called most of his advice that isn't useful. I called it non-advice, which is just which is just a way to say that he just says shit.
Yeah, puts it out in the universe.
Yeah.
If someone takes it, they take it.
Like it's just like, I mean, yeah, I don't know. He's had some pretty hot takes before, though, that I'm certain that a lot of people won't agree with. He's like, I'd rather start off poor. I'd rather be poor.
Yeah, while this guy's like a multimillionaire.
He's like, the internet fixed racism.
That one's a tough one. In a way,
I know.
It helps.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it worked, like it fixed it. I'm just saying it helps. It helps getting, to know.
The thing about Gary Vee, though, is that he has pretty much always come from a privileged life, even though he might tell you that he's the immigrant success story. His parents, I'm pretty sure, were very well off from a very early start.
Yeah. The
business that Gary Vee took online was already worth $2 million before he took it. So,
hey, good for them. I don't disrespect the grind, but I definitely don't exactly respect Gary Vee or people that just go, I'm gonna take your money. You know what I mean? I'm gonna take daddy's money.
Yeah, I understand. Like, if I was in the position to where someone could give me a lot of money to do what I wanted, obviously I would take it. And, I think it just showed humility and be self-aware,
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah, I guess I should also say that I would also, in that situation, probably do the same thing.
Yeah, just...
But
I don't know how
I'd be more humble about it.
I don't know how I'd be if I grew up with that level of money, or like if I got that kind of support.
I'm not trying to make this a hot take, but I would never want to have that kind of money. Growing up, that just sounds like a situation.
As far as money goes, there's a really funny juxtaposition that I think shows the mentality of money. Watch the Mike Tyson podcast with Steve-O, where they talk about, because Steve-O grew up, his dad was like a billionaire, I think.
Whoa.
Yeah, he owned like the Dole Fruit Company, or something like that. He owned something. He was very rich.
Mm-hmm.
And Steve-O, from a very early age, resented the amount of money that he had.
Yeah.
He saw that he was living like luxurious lives, and people around the world were literally like in Africa were quite frankly just slaves. And he was like, why do we live like this? But and no one else no one else does, essentially. It made him feel guilty that he had the privilege.
That's interesting.
And so for a long time he turned away money, and money wasn't important to him because probably number one, he knew that he could always fall back on his father who was rich, but number two, he just knew that having money didn't matter as much to him.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
Just because he resented it?
Yeah. He resented having that kind of level of
Mm-hmm. It's almost like oh god, what's the word for it? Like responsibility. Having that kind of money.
And so for a long time during Jackass, he didn't care about how much he was getting paid and didn't care how he was living, because he had already saw what a lot of money gets you, and he didn't want that. Versus Mike Tyson, who grew up very poor. And so making sure he gets paid is extremely important to him.
Yeah, 100%.
Because he never had that luxury of having money. So when he gets it, and when he doesn't want to feel cheated, he's essentially just like, no, I get my money, you know? And I think that's the big takeaway from it, is that there's like a healthy medium of money. You know, you can be successful, but like show humility of what you have and be self-aware that you know you may not have what others have. And that's not to say you should feel guilty about it either.
I mean, but you do. I think you. I'm not trying to get into like everything about it, but do you think you have a responsibility as a rich person to help people under you?
A little bit.
If you're
I mean,
really
yeah.
rich, if you're really rich, not if you're like
Like Jeff Bridges.
what? Bridges?
Sorry, Jeff Bezos. He's tearing down a bridge. Jeff Bridges.
Oh my God, Bridges! It's so funny. I had to like make an edit of Jeff Bridges with Jeff Bezos' face.
Jeff Bezos is tearing down a bridge, so he can fit his like rich boy yacht into harbor, and it's like, man, you could like
do so much for that.
You
can make housing for like tons of people.
It's pretty fucking hilarious, I think.
Yeah, that's what I mean by like having responsibility. Like if you have that much money to just like change the world to how you see fit for your needs and wants, not needs, wants.
I'm sure you get an ego trip when you have that much money, because I feel like it's really hard to make that much money and at least not take advantage of someone or something once. And that's not to, you know.
No, 100%.
Yeah. And that doesn't mean they all do and that you have to do that, but it seems like a lot of the times it's very important.
Like it's an important piece of their story.
Yeah,
that
like
they screw somebody over.
Or that they just have an advantage that no one else has.
Yeah, that's true. It is kind of like a
it's usually
thing in every rich person story.
Yeah, and I don't know, but I think that Jeff Bezos.
You're off of it with this this dude's name. I can't tell if that was an accident again or if that was.
No, it was. But Jeff Bridges, he's tearing down a bridge, right? And
people are gonna be so confused listening to this. They're gonna be like, "Is it Jeff Bridges or is it Jeff Bezos?"
Amazon guy.
Yeah, Amazon Penis Rocket Man.
The Amazonian Blue Origin Lex Luthor wannabe is just super rich and could help people if he wanted, but whatever. He's not gonna, so don't hold your breath.
Yeah, just leave it at that.
Yeah.
What were we talking about? Oh, Gary Vee.
Gary
like,
Vee.
how did we get to Jeff Bridges?
Gary Vee got a lot of money though. Not a billionaire, but he got a lot of money.
Yeah, I wouldn't say he's at that point where he has to feel obligated to help people.
I don't know. He has like in all of his assets, it's like $200 million.
Okay, then yeah, he does.
And I guess he thinks he's trying to help people by giving them advice.
By going, kill yourself by working. Work till you die.
I get what he's saying, like, but what I don't understand is like he'll tell you to work so hard and work so much, but then at the same time be like, just dump a bunch of shit on YouTube.
Yeah, and then he'll also just sit around and be like, but you have to live life.
It's like you want to take pride in your work so you can work hard. If you're just working hard to make money and you're not getting anything out of it, like making money is obviously important, but like if you're not making fucking money, then you need to be working towards making money. And so you just have to like destroy your soul for the grind.
Yeah.
And it's like maybe just work on something that you feel passionate about. And if being in Wall Street and in stocks and in things like that is something that's passionate to you, or I guess being really rich is something that's really passionate to you.
Yeah, I guess.
Then work towards that. But like don't tell people to be like work really hard, but also don't work hard into something that he does tell people that, but it's like
he's just very contradicting.
He is, because it's weird because I also watched a video where he said if you have these ideas, do them, because if you don't do them, you're going to regret it. But then turns around and it's like, yeah, just like pump shit out.
Yeah. Have you seen his garage sale content?
How much is this, my friend?
I wanted to get like $100 for it.
Let me give it some thought. Thank you. I'm not going to buy everything, but I promise you, I would have destroyed that man's face and got it for $50. I would have then been able to easily put that on Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, Instagram, and probably get $300 to $500. I might just buy it for 50, just to make my point. My friend, would you take 50 for it? Yeah. Told you.
I am fucking crazy, but I am free.